What type of confidence interval is this? Pardon me? Yeah, so 1 proportion Z interval. I'm trying to be in the habit of naming the tester interval here in this unit, because when we get to the next unit, the name is going to be crucial, because I'm not going to make you or require that you show all your work in the do, and you'll see why when we get there, when we start later this week. Okay? So what are we going to include in our state? Tell me what things you wrote down in step 1. The level. What did you say the level was, Liz? 0.99. What else did I hear? N was? Good job. What else? And what was p hat? Nope. And you got that by doing 978 over 2,350. What was the 0.45? Yeah, so that's what it's kind of like they're making a claim that P is 0.45, so after we construct our interval, we're going to look and see is 0.45 in it, okay? So that's a little bit unique on this one. Anything else that we should include in step 1? Excellent, Alex. So P is, and typically it's right in the stem of the problem, so the proportion of vaccine-eligible people who had received the flu vaccine. So I'm just going to cheat and do that. If you want to cheat and do that on the test tomorrow, I'm okay with it. Okay? Well, I'm not really cheating. I'm just saving time. But label it as P. Okay? So any questions on the state? All right, where do we go next? To the plan. What do we check for in our plan? Normality and independent and random. Okay, were we told it's random? Check. How do we check for normal? Okay, so N is 2,350. Again, we're doing a confidence interval where we typically don't know the true P, so we use our hats here. So times, what did you say this is about equal to? 0.41 what? Okay, so we definitely can see that that's at least 10. And then 2,350 times Q hat is also definitely at least 10. So normal, check. How do we check for independent when we sample? Okay, so do you think the population of all vaccine-eligible people who have received the flu vaccine is at least 10 times 2,350? Yeah. Excellent. The plan is complete. Okay? Any questions on the plan? We're going to ace this tomorrow. I sense it. All right, we know every confidence interval has this basic formula, and our focus here in this unit is on single samples. So our sample statistic is our sample proportion, p hat. What is our critical value for p? Z star. And standard deviation we can see is our standard error, because we're going to use our p hat, q hat. Okay? So our statistic is our p hat. Plus or minus, our critical value is z star. And then our standard error is our square root of p hat, q hat over n. Okay? You do not have to show that. If you want to go right to this next step, you are perfectly fine as long as you've clearly labeled everything in the state. Okay? So let's see, I got 0.416. What is Z star for 99% confidence? Good job. And where do we find it? Inverse norm of 0.005, yep. Or if you're a table user, bottom of table B, yeah. Okay. And so square root of p hat q hat would be square root of 0.416 times 0.584 over n. But I don't want to have to calculate that by hand. I want my calculator to do that for me. So stat test 1 prop z int. There it is, option A. Now, most common mistake here that students have a hiccup on is they want to enter the proportion here. Now, X is a number of people who had the characteristic you're interested in this case, who got the flu vaccine in our sample. So, if it wasn't given to us, you could just take the proportion expressed as a decimal and multiply it by n and type that right in here. Okay? But here they did tell me it was 978 people out of 2,350 people at a level of confidence equal to 0.99. Oh, that's better. Calculate. And there's my interval. So I got 0.38998 to 0.44236. You know, I usually carry about 3 digits after the, like say 0.390 to 0.442. There's not a rule of thumb, but 3 digits will give me, if I was expressing it as a percent, that's to the nearest tenth of a percent. Who can give us their conclusion? Ashley.
We are 99% confident that the true proportion of vaccine-eligible people who have received the flu vaccine is between 0.38998 and 0.44236.
Perfect.
Wow.
Absolutely perfect. So in case you didn't hear, she said we are 99% confident that the true proportion of vaccine-eligible people who had received the flu vaccine is somewhere between 0.390 and 0.442, or 39.0% and 44.2%. But wait, there's another question asked on this one. No? Use your interval to comment on the belief that 45% of the vaccine-eligible people had received the flu vaccine. Do you think it's true? Why not? You have to put that in context, okay? I do not believe that 45% of the vaccine-eligible people had received the flu vaccine, because my interval did not capture it, or because it's not in the interval. Okay? Had I captured it, I would believe it. Questions about that?